Welcome to Reading Together, a podcast for parents who are passionate about nurturing a love for reading. My name is Clare Mackie and I'm the head of the prep school here at Dulwich Cranbrook. 2026 is the National Year of Reading, and following our recent World Book Day celebrations, there really couldn't be a better time for us to talk about the importance of reading. We all know that young children love nothing more than to snuggle up with a book at bedtime and share a story together. But with the demands and constant juggling of busy family life, is reading being given the time it truly deserves? Are we protecting time to read? Or is it being gradually crowded out? And does a bedtime reading routine continue even when they are fully fledged readers? With growing national concerns about the decline in children choosing to read for pleasure, it is more important than ever for us to explore how we can nurture a lifelong love of reading. But why is this so important? Well, the benefits of voluntary reading goes far beyond language. It is linked to better mental well-being. When you are transported by a book, you learn to switch off from external pressures and the busyness of everyday life, creating a space to slow down and calm the mind. Reading also promotes concentration, helps to improve your memory, and fosters creativity. We also mustn't forget that the simple act of enjoying a book together is a powerful way to bond with your child, and it can begin long before they even say their first words. Strong reading skills from an early age can make a lasting difference. So on that note, this is the perfect time for me to hand over to Claire Grieves, Deputy Head in Nash House and our early years reading champion.
Hello everyone! It's such a pleasure to speak with you today about reading, especially in the early years when curiosity and language skills are rapidly blooming. Some fun facts to get us started. Did you know that in the first few years of life, a child's brain is developing faster than at any other time? Neuroscience shows that 85 to 90% of brain growth happens in the first 5 years of life, and early experiences, like reading, literally shape neural pathways tied to language, thinking, and emotional skills. When we open a book with a child, we are doing far more than teaching letters. We're building robust language networks, strengthening their attention, and nurturing the foundations of lifelong learning. Some wise words from Dr. Seuss. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. And there is real science behind that. Children who are read to regularly in early childhood hear many more words than those who aren't. Studies estimate that just one book a day exposes a child to tens of thousands more words per year, boosting vocabulary and understanding in ways everyday conversation alone can't match. Reading early is also linked with better performance on cognitive tests, stronger mental well-being, and improved academic success later on, effects that show up even in adolescence. Some classics like The Very Hungry Caterpillar or Goodnight Moon do more than tell a story. They introduce concepts like numbers, sequencing, rhythm, and emotional comfort. Other well-known favourites such as The Gruffalo build vocabulary and spark imagination. But please remember, reading doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need all the answers, you don't need a teaching degree. Just a short pocket of time to sit close and turn the pages. Pause to talk about the pictures. Ask, what do you think happens next? Because in those small daily moments, you are doing something extraordinary. You are raising a reader. And when you raise a reader, you raise a thinker. And that changes everything.
Thank you, Claire. Some of my happiest memories as a parent are story times with my children. My advice would be to cherish those early moments because they really don't last forever. I would now like to introduce Lizzie Davey, Deputy Head of Little Stream, who is going to delve a little deeper into possible reasons why reading for enjoyment is on the decline.
Hello everyone. To build on from what we've just heard from Claire Grieves, I'd like to address a trend we're beginning to see where children are reading less for pleasure. The Department of Education has responded to this by introducing the initiative of making 2026 the Year of Reading, highlighting the importance of reading for pleasure and encouraging schools, families and communities to work together to build strong reading habits in children and getting this right from the start. Research from the Open University and the National Literacy Trust consistently shows that while children can read well, which is also reflected in our school data, fewer children are choosing to read outside of school. The data shows some really interesting trends. The proportion of children who read daily for pleasure drops sharply between the ages of 8 and 11. Boys in particular are less likely to choose to read in their free time. And research from the Department of Education states that just 1 in 3 students aged 8 to 18 years old said that they enjoyed reading in their free time in 2025.
So why do you think this might be happening?
Well, there is a strong correlation between the increase of screen time and a decline in the enjoyment of reading. As children get older, reading for pleasure is now having to compete with other interests like gaming, social media and video content.
Yes, I can see how that could easily happen, as you don't always get the immediate gratification when reading a book. It really can take time to get to know the characters and understand the storyline, whereas children get immediate satisfaction from online content and can easily scroll for hours to find content that is of interest to them.
Absolutely. Reading can also be seen as schoolwork rather than a joy and something they would not willingly choose to do. Also, we have busy children who take part in so many extracurricular activities, have fabulous social lives, and there is simply little time for reading.
I think the points that you have mentioned are all contributing factors, so let's talk about some of the practical steps that we are taking at Dulwich to keep our children motivated to read.
Reading is constantly being modelled by staff and our older pupils to promote positive reading behaviours. You will see some new displays appearing in the corridors throughout the school to promote the teachers' and the children's love for reading.
We plan for high quality one-to-one reading and reading group sessions too. We focus on quality time, really getting to know the children and supporting them to achieve their individual reading goals. Our busy school calendar always includes author visits to inspire pupils and share a love of their reading.
We're now introducing daily Dear Dulwich time every day. Dear, D-E-A-R, stands for Drop Everything and Read. During this time, the children will read a text of their choice. This could be a book, comic, encyclopedia, whatever takes their fancy.
We are also incredibly lucky to have well-stocked libraries across the school with dedicated and very experienced librarians who help to engage and guide the children to find a book or series of books which they might enjoy.
Targeted reading support and interventions are also provided for pupils who need additional help, ensuring all learners make personal progress and develop confidence as a reader.
And a lovely routine across the prep school is that our teachers dedicate a daily slot to read to the children, from fledglings, our 2-year-olds, all the way through up to year 6. Reading a class novel provides the opportunity for the whole class to enjoy the text together, get to know the characters and the storyline. They have something to look forward to. What will happen next? So my next question is, what can parents do to instill reading as a joyful habit rather than a chore? Claire and Lizzie, what are your top tips?
Make reading a shared experience. Find time in your busy day to enjoy story time together. Laugh, act out parts and ask questions. Children who talk about books remember more, enjoy more and read more. Reading is not just about words on a page. It really is valuable bonding time. Establish a consistent reading routine which works for your family. Catch 10 to 15 minutes every day to build a positive and sustainable habit. Turning off devices temporarily will help to create a calm space that signals This is time for us and our stories. It really helps to create a reading-friendly environment at home. Raise the profile of reading by creating a cosy reading corner, adding a book basket to your shared living space. And if you're going out for the day, slip a book into your bag so that you can use those pockets of time on the train or in the car to read.
As your child gets older, give them choice and access to a wide range of texts. Let them choose what they want to read. Comics, magazines, graphic novels, manuals, jokes, poetry, fiction, non-fiction books and audiobooks too. They'll all count. Talk about books and celebrate reading successes. Ask children about what they are reading. Encourage them to share their favourite parts and praise effort and progress. Celebrating reading achievements builds confidence, motivation and a lasting love of reading.
Wonderful suggestions. Thank you. Before we finish, and I'll be honest, this is the part I find most challenging too. As parents, we're all juggling so much. But we are role models. When our children see us reading, even for a few minutes, it really does make a difference. So I'm reminding myself as much as anyone else, let's try to put down our device now and then and pick up a book, a newspaper or a magazine instead. Those small moments matter. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to our Reading Together podcast. If you have taken away even one small nugget of information, then we've established our goal. Let's spread the joy of reading, one story at a time.